Hello and welcome, Rando fans, to our Link to the Past Randomizer League. Wisdom players match here between Team Awesome and Team Hime, Hitsuyan versus Kermit. This is going to be a repeat match of a tie that happened, so we're going to be playing Ambrosia. Joining me today is Bigfoot.
Welcome from me too, and good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. And yeah, this should be a pretty amazing race. As you mentioned, it has been a tie the first time, so we'll see. And yeah, we're off. And now we get the boots hint from the uncle, and he says Light World.
That is a lot of locations that could be. We get a heart container out of the chest in Link's house, and let's see if we get an early map check. Nope, not so far. That said, oh, there it is. I saw a red crystal on Top Hera and a normal crystal on Desert Palace. I did not catch an Eastern Palace with them.
Yeah, I saw the same. I also didn't catch Eastern.
Oops. And yeah, so to explain Ambrosia a bit here, Ambrosia is a standard start seed where we start with the sword. We, as you saw earlier, we get a hint from Uncle where the boots are. It is, in this case, a very vague hint, but, you know, we get a mirror here in Uncle's chest. That's not part of the Ambrosia seed, but, you know, noteworthy. And one other thing that Ambrosia does is when you defeat a boss, they will always be guaranteed to be dropping an item that is not a dungeon item. So no map, compass, or any of the keys. It could just be say a 10 arrow pack, or progression, anywhere in between those, but it's not a dungeon item.
Yeah, and it is to mention that it's one of the items that are usually found in the dungeon itself. So dungeons like Misery Mire, which only has 2 items, or Skullwood also 2 items, one of those 2 items will be on the boss.
Yeah, that is correct, yeah. It's still the same amount of items in a dungeon's item pool, but one of them is guaranteed to be on a boss. And yeah, so this changes how you route through various dungeons. So it's very interesting to see what our runners are going to do in that regard. It also looks, as our tracker has caught what was an Eastern Pass, it is a green pendant.
Vanilla green pendant Eastern. Maybe it leads to vanilla boots?
Wouldn't that be something?
Yeah, but now in the beginning we'll see about 6 minutes-ish the escape sequence, because it's a standard start, no open. So first 6 minutes are those 6 minutes we all know pretty well.
Yeah. There's not all that much a runner can do other than various NMG strats, like, say, pumping, that would speed this progress up. If you end up outside of the escape by around 6 minutes, it's usually considered to be a good escape. Anything a bit longer than that, and that said, our runners are still looking for bombs. We've seen that the guards do not have the bomb prize pack, which also means that the ropes or snakes in the sewers will not have it, which in turn means we're gonna have to rely on the rats to see if they drop bombs for it.
Yeah, we have seen one thing which is very special for the mirror start. If we get a mirror early in escape, we will have a time sometime quicker than 6 minutes now, because you can mirror from Zelda's cell downwards to the entrance of the castle and save all the way up. So we'll likely get maybe even a sub 5 minute now for the escape sequence.
And our runners have synced up here now, as Hitsuyan tried to get see if the ropes had something. Sadly, no. I do think we've seen the map, so the remaining... Oh, that's good. The rats do in fact have actually the full bomb prize pack. So we're all good on bombs. Both runners have found 3 of them, and so we can pick up the back escape.
Yeah, and we even have our first bombs we can use in Kakariko, so that's very... Oh, and Hitsu picks up another 4 bomb drops, so he got 7 now. That's all the bombs we need for Kakariko.
Pretty much, and Kermit also picks it up. Oh, no. It's offensive. 8 bomb back. We found a powder here in the back of escape and a little bit of starting money, just enough to pay off the bottle mender.
Yeah, that's very nice for the beginning.
Absolutely, yeah. That means we don't have to worry about, money. We also can, we don't have to worry about those 50 rupees buying a pack of bombs would cost either. So it's all good.
Yeah, this is pretty much the escape as you wanted.
Yeah,
Mirror,
the escape of dreams.
bomb,
You have mirror, you
money.
get bombs, you have some money for Kakariko, and you start with a sword too. I'd say it's pretty good. And of course, we also got the powder, so once we have access to the magic bat, that is a check we can do. That is in the light world, so that might hold the boots.
Yeah, we got map checks on both sides again. Didn't they both do a map check?
I think only Kermit did.
Yeah, but Kermit just did one again. Maybe
Yeah,
press the wrong button.
Either that, or maybe Kermit wanted to reaffirm that, okay, Tower of Hera is a red crystal, or Eastern Palace is Spring Pendant. The hearts on the tree pole. Nothing too exciting on the mushroom spot, just a big 20. Kermit opts to skip it. Hitsuyan picks it up.
Yeah, Kermit thinks I already have enough money for Kakariko, so I'm okay. And Kermit says, "Oh, you can't have enough money. Maybe we'll have to."
I think Hitsuyan's thought process here is, well, I may as well pick up some money in case I decide to fake flipper. While Kermit might be thinking straightly with the logic in mind. Zora is not in logic yet because we need the gloves or the flippers for that, and we have neither. So
yeah, but in this game you can't have enough money because there's so many players. You need money, and then you always can buy potions.
If you have a round with all the money checks included, say roughly 1,000, you're pretty safe. There's a Master Sword here in Blind's Hut. Otherwise, nothing too exciting yet.
Yeah, that's very nice, and it also means we're a lamp away from an Aga seed.
Well, Kermit's gamble did pay off because we were find a 300 stack here in the back of Blind's Hut. So that 2 seconds that Kermit saved on picking up that big 20.
Yeah, money shouldn't be a problem.
And there we go. Well, yeah, we're gonna see both of the runners clear out Kakariko. Hopefully, we find a bottle and or a flute here, so we can route those in real quick while we're here.
That would always be nice.
That's also the reasoning why you see sometimes runners not do Kakariko after doing the escape, because they think, okay, usually in open, there's flippers on the bottom ender, so yeah, that's good. Opens up a few more checks.
Yeah, and it seems we might get a pretty early Zora play, because with flippers you can do a lot of checks in that direction.
Oh yeah. Runners will probably see if they can find a few more rupee stashes before going there.
Yeah, but we still have a lot of checks left on the South Shore, and I think they'll have the money soon.
We found the random 10 bomb pack in the chicken hut and just the heart container in the bar. So we'll see the library and then the race game, and then the runners will decide where to go next. Most runners will probably go for the South Shore. Oh, there's a fire rod there. That does mean those boots are gonna be required.
Yeah. Luckily, we have a general idea where they are. It seems Light World was the hint from the uncle.
Yeah.
But,
I mean,
well, Light World is big. Has a lot
yeah,
of
Light World.
locations.
Light World is probably the single most amount. Oh well. Here they are. No need to think about where they are because the race game rewards us with the boots. Can pick up that fire right away.
Yeah, that's pretty handy.
Yeah, very convenient.
And Kermit saving another few seconds with blind checking the race game.
Yeah. Go. Both runners have now acquired the fast shoes.
Yeah,
So
I think we'll see the South Shore now.
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe with the boots even from the dam to Agina. That might be an option with the boots. So you don't isolate Agina. We'll see.
Yeah, it's a reasonable thought. Neither of the runners opts to do the bonk rocks first. Not unexpected, but you know, that is also a check we have open now as well. Boots.
Yeah, but you'll go up the mountain at some point, and then they'll be on the way.
Yeah, so there's a Bombos medallion. That is one of the 3 medallions we might need. Or well, one of the 2 medallions we might need rather, because you know it can't be 3 anymore. Yeah.
And all the fire we want for Ice Palace.
Yes. Yeah, there is a small chance that we need all 3 medallions, which is when the Fire Rod is in Ice Palace, or whatever locks the Fire Rod is in Ice Palace. This is not the case today, so we may or may not need Bombos. That said, Bombos is a convenient item to have. Allows to do some annoying rooms a lot faster by just clearing them out.
Yeah, and if we don't have half magic, it can be useful in Ice Palace to crack the shell around Cold Stare, so you have some Fire Rod shots left.
That is correct as well, yeah. We're gonna see Ice Rod Cave here from Kermit, and then probably I would see the flipper checks.
Yeah, we should see them.
I think Kermit, not Kermit, Hitsuyan is a bit more likely because Kermit is still 100 away, while Hitsuyan is like, what was it, like, yeah, like 60 away.
Yeah, picking up that 20 in the woods. No, paying off for Hitsu. Oh, and Kermit setting up a water walk, quicker than just swimming.
Yeah, when you have the boots, this is a smart idea because you know you can traverse the water areas a lot faster. We'll probably see Hitsuyan do the same. On your bridge gives us more bombs. Man, this is a bomb-rich seed so far.
Yeah, we even got the 10 Uncle Bombs somewhere.
Yeah.
Well, we'll very likely see the island now, and then the waterfall cave. Oh, there's a hammer on the island!
That is kind of gross.
Yeah, because we now have to have either the Mid's Dark World access or the Aga Dark World access. One of both.
And yeah, that is gross. And Hookshot would make traversing this Dark World, should we have to take or do we, if we have to do this, a bit easier because we can, you know, hookshot around.
Yeah, no additional money to be found, so no Zora check. Just a heart on the Zora ledge.
Yeah. Hitsuyan a bit closer to Zora money might opt to farm those 50-something rupees. Nope. Okay, it's gonna orphan King Zora here.
Yeah, Kermit checking bonk rocks, but other than Agina, this and yeah, single arrow. Other than Agina and Eastern, we don't have anything left. Well, he's checking Lumberjack. That might be an idea. See if Aga is maybe double required.
Yeah, it's good information to have right now because you know Aghanim is looming, and with how early we got the boots, and just a bottle. Okay.
Well, I have seen seeds where the bottle on the Lumberjack is required because all 3 other bottles are somewhere hidden, somewhere, and something was on bottle, on ticket. Oh, that's a very nice Sasha closet with a tempered sword, a lamp, and a hookshot. Wow.
Oh yes, that is Hassela is holding out on the goods here. That said, that lamp puts Aghanim into logic. We have now full access to Aghanim's tower. The tempered sword is going to make us make the climb a bit easier for us, because you know those ball and chain guards and stuff are not going to be as much of a hassle. But still, hey. So unless there's gloves, like both gloves and the Moon Pearl in Eastern plus Agina, yeah. Well, actually, gloves would put the mountain into logic as well, including Tower of Hera. So, you know.
Yeah, but I don't really think we find all of that.
Yeah, well, I mean, we'd need to find one glove, and we can access basically all of the mountain except for the dark one. So
yeah, and Kermit saying, do that. I have Aga access, and it's looking like an Aga seed. I'll do Aga.
Yeah, this is a reasonable gamble, I would argue. So far, Hitsuyan only pulling the big key and the compass out of the chests so far.
Yeah, and since we know there is to be 1 item on the boss, we can only get 2 items out of Eastern. So we have 3 items with Eastern and Agina. Maybe we get the mountain too, but only if we find a glove.
Well, so... Zora also still is there.
Yeah, okay. But chances are very high. This is an Agassi though.
Yeah,
so
of course. Yeah, I would say Kermit is making a very reasonable gamble. There is, of course, as we said, the small chance that Hitsuyan will find a progression item and will be able to skip Aghanim. But if that is not the case, the earlier you do Aghanim, the better, because you know then you have it behind you. You can access the Dark World.
Yeah, well, and even if Hitsuyan finds 2 gloves now, Kermit will have an early access to the hammer, which is always nice.
Mm-hmm.
So he won't be too much of an in a disadvantage. Because if Hitsuyan finds both gloves, Kermit's options in the Dark World are pretty limited, so he'll have to find those gloves pretty soon as well.
Yeah, and we were not finding anything in Eastern Palace. So the question is, will Hitsuyan go for Aghanim, or will Hitsuyan gamble on Hina? And it looks like we're going to see Aghanim here.
Yeah, but that also means a Moon Pearl has to be in one of 3 locations, or locked by one of 3 locations. Agina, Zora, or the Pyramid.
Mm-hmm. That hammer on the Lake Hell Island is a very gross location. That said, we are going to go into Aghanim here. For those of you who don't know how this works, both runners will get the same pattern, unless one of them dies during this fight. And what happens is Aghanim will teleport around and will shoot projectiles. It's the first is always a reflectable orange ball. Then there is a chance between an orange ball or a blue ball for the next 3 attacks. And then the 5th attack is the lightning bolt from the top of the screen. And then rinse and repeat.
Yeah, and it looks like we got a pretty nice pattern here. Now I jinxed it, because we had 5 reflectable balls in a series. Now, well, that's okay. 1 blue ball is pretty.
Yeah,
nice.
I was gonna say 1 or 2 blue balls is not too bad. 1, of course, like optimal would be 0, but 1 is. Kermit here in the Dark World now. This. I love this Link's Awakening Shy Guy sprite. Oh, there is the Moon Pearl already. So we're gonna get to hear the bunny music for a little while longer. And looks like Kermit is gonna check. Oh yeah, just grab the hammer. Actually, yeah. Duh. Of course.
Yeah, and Kermit, as soon as he finds a bow, he can do Pot Eastern in 1 go. Will save some time. I just thought about Kermit going into Ice Palace, but then I remembered we need mitts for that.
And we don't even have the gloves.
Yeah, but we have everything else for Ice Palace.
That is true. I mean, logically speaking, it could be Cane of Sumaria locked, but who cares about logic at this point with, you know, Icebreaker, or at the very least, Ice Palace Bomb Jump.
Yeah. Well, still maybe we'll see Ice Palace kinda late, because with Icebreaker you always want to have the Samaria and do the quick Ice Palace.
It looks like Kermit is opting to pick up that bottle. Since we haven't gotten a bottle yet, you know, it makes sense to do this real quick, because who knows, maybe that, as you mentioned earlier, maybe that ball is required, you know?
Yeah, and I think he'll go into the Dark World now from the portal, and go the northern route to the Dark Village, and mirror then. So if he's there, he can check it, or maybe he checks it first.
I think Kermit might also be opting to check the bat, because powder and hammer.
Oh yes, yes, you're right. Oh, I hope he remembers he can't go into the Dark World this way, because he has neither gloves.
I think that menu check there was you know, was the realization. Hold on, do I have the gloves? Oh yeah. Darn! And so we're gonna probably see that Sikin in the magic bat now, and then, well, yeah. Just bombs.
Yeah, what else could it be in this seed? Yeah, you need the mitts. You need the mitts for the Darkstone to pick up, but you shouldn't forget that you need at least 1 glove to pick up the stone that covers the teleporter. So
yeah,
it's easy to forget that.
Yeah, you can come in from the top by going like all the way around through the Lost Woods.
Yeah, with a hammer you can get to the stone that covers the portal, and then yeah.
But then you do need the glove to pick that up. So, heart piece off of the magic bat. I see a pendant in Thief's Town, a pendant in Swamp Palace, and a second 5/6 crystal in Misery Mine.
Yeah, I saw that too. And everything else are normal crystals.
Of course.
Swamp being a pendant is always nice, because you don't want to go into a swamp. Even if it's a little nicer with a diver down.
I mean, have all the items to clear Swamp Palace. So, you know, and we got those very early on. So if you want to follow like the early items, yeah, sorry, so you you can't pick that up yet. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Hitsuyan using the hookshot here to get to the Western Dark World. This is the only way we can get there. If you have the flippers and the hookshot, all of Dark World that isn't the mountain is in logic, but you have to like use that hookshot spot or swim over, respectively.
Yeah, and we'll see a King's Tomb, because from the Dark World and with the boots we can get there. Just a piece of heart.
And Kermit opting to dive into pot. Interesting.
Yeah, he has no bow, but he has a bottle. I don't know if he has a potion in it.
No. There was a bee in that bottle, and Kermit did not make a trip to the witch.
Interesting. So he could be locked after just one check here.
Maybe that's like the intention, to see if pot is bow locked, and it is not. There's the ice rod.
Yeah, that's a very interesting check, because Graveyard Ledge, it's a little isolated for Kermit. He already checked Bonk Rocks. He still has King's Tomb and Graveyard Ledge, but otherwise that's an isolated check for him.
I would say that if well, there's a flute. Hello. I would say that if Kermit takes the same route that Hitsuyan did, where you hookshot over across the river, then you definitely are going to pick up Graveyard all the way. That said, with that flute, things look a lot different, because flute opens up Death Mountain and basically all of it in the Light World.
Yeah, and we'll have to hope that Kermit doesn't find a glove, because then he likely won't do that Northern Dark World road.
I mean, the good thing is that Scald Woods is a crystal, because that will put eventually Kermit into the general vicinity, and at that point, you check Bumper Ledge, Graveyard Ledge, and King's Tomb, and since that's 3 checks plus together, and that will hopefully lead Kermit to pick up that ice rod.
Yeah.
And of course, to note here that we still are missing both of the gloves, which hampers, a lot of our, not only of our mobility, but also our ability to clear dungeons.
Well, we can clear Skull Woods, we can clear Pendant Thieves Town, we can clear Swamp. Oh, some things we can do.
Yeah, I mean, but do you want to clear Pendant Swamp this early on?
Wow, but Port paying off with the Samaria.
Oh, that's
Samaria and Port. That's a very nice routing for Kermit.
That's basically the Misery Mire starting kit.
Oh my god, yeah. Well, without the gloves, no chance.
Of course, and it's also very possible that either Ether or Quake are going to be the Mire access, but it's still funny that 2 of the items that are specifically required for Misery Mire are in Pod.
Well, it opens up the possibility of a vanilla glove in desert.
That is true, yeah.
Because with the flute and the mirror, we can get into desert. Oh no, we still need the mids for the portal.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. I mean, it's still possible that a glove is in desert. It's just not, via this flute mirror access. And looks like since Kermit did not find a glove in Pod, is going to get his ice rod. So no biggie there.
Yeah, very interestingly, he did not take a look into Eastern. That was kind of strange, I thought, because he was there. He just had to mirror after Port, and he knew he could get 2 items out of Eastern, which were in logic even before Aga. So.
Maybe maybe his thought was it's only 2 items, and these 2 items, like it's only 2 items. I can't clear it. It's a pendant dungeon. Maybe once Kermit finds a bow, he will opt to clear pod and then mirror over and do Eastern in one stroke, and then hand in the pendant as well. Because double dipping both of those Eastern area dungeons, kind of a pain.
Yeah, but given we don't have a glove after half an hour, and at least one of the gloves tends to be pretty early, not checking 2 Sphere 0 checks is pretty strange.
I guess. I mean, we can ask Kermit later about that decision. That said, Hitsuyan takes down Mothula, finds a heart piece, and the first crystal on the board for Team Awesome. Looks like Kermit is following in Hitsuyan's footsteps in this regard. He's going to do Skullwoods as well.
Yeah, he's going to have an easier time on the check Hitsuyan is coming to, because well, Hitsuyan doesn't do the vanilla big key chest, because Kermit already has the Zamaria. Hitsuyan hoping for the second item being in the front.
Hitsuyan already did the Gipter room.
Oh, he already did that, okay. But Kermit will have an easier, will save time on that room.
Yeah, will not have to push the statue, can just use a Mario block. And there's our second item in Skullwoods, which is a shovel. All fetch quest items are a bit of a loaded item. We don't know whether or not this is going to be something that's going to be useful. That said, since we do have the mirror, we're probably going to route see that routed in with the regular South Darkwood checks here.
Yeah, since we don't have any gloves, we can't combine it with a smith chain, but still with Stumpy and K45, Dig Game and so on, south of Village of Outcasts, it's a pretty nice route to take. And with a hype cave at the end.
Hitsuyan finds just a big 20, but also out of the first check, that is always randomized, so Kermit might pull something different out of that chest. Finds a 100 rupee stash, which is nice, you know, to always know, okay, I have enough money for Zora in case I need it.
Yeah, this opens up the route from Catfish to Zora.
And down goes Mothula for Kermit as well. So, Thieves Town here, Hitsuyan is still holding a mirror, so it's very possible that Hitsuyan is going to opt to just check these 4 in the front, and then mirror out and continue on his way.
Yeah, I didn't pay attention what he found in the first chests.
The first chest, the very first chest was the big key. The second chest was trash, and the third chest was the blue mail, as you just saw.
The second chest must have been the small key, because he has it. So just one item in the front out of 4. So it's he goes to the back. 3 items in the back. Then you go into the back, even if it's a pendant.
Yeah, I mean, technically speaking, the small key is trash, because that means we'll have to go to the big chest. But yeah.
Well, since we already have to go the left way in the basement, it's not so much of an extra.
Sure, but it's still annoying.
Yeah.
That said, it's very possible that the map is in there, so hopefully we don't have to do the big chest after all.
Well, at least we'll know before we are there, because we know that there's an item on blind.
Yeah, that is correct. Yeah, with the Ambrosia setting, of course, guaranteeing us an item on blind. So if you find 2 items here in the attic chest and in the mid chest, well, hello there. That's a bow.
That's a very nice find.
For sure. Let's hope that Kermit is thinking the same way as Hitsuyan is once he is entering Thief's Town. Thinking, okay, there's 3 items in the back. Even though it's a pendant, I want to do this.
And we are already at the possibility of a glove go mode.
Oh my god, you're right.
Well, we still don't know which medallions are required, so there's always a chance. But other than that, we don't need anything but the gloves.
Yep, that's true. Of course, both gloves. Also, yeah, one of the quirks of doing gloveless Thief's Town is that you have to go the long way around with into this room with the conveyor belts to get to the maiden. Well, the map was in the big chest, so
Yeah.
that detour that Hitsuyan just did was not required after all.
Well, if he went to the cell first, he would have known.
Yep. And just a big 20. As if that bow alone is worth already clearing Thief's Town. Let's hope that the boss has something useful. But even then, that bow, since that is in the back of Thief's Town and a lot of runners opt to skip on the back, you know.
Yeah, it also should be very good for Hitsuyan because this will lead him to do port, where he'll find his flute and his Somaria pretty soon, I think.
I imagine Hitsuyan might also dip back into Eastern to clear out the Armos Knights for those 2 items. Since, of course, the Armos Knights do have an item, and there's the green pendant as well. And since that's like right in the vicinity to Hasalas, so...
Yeah, he might, but given he find his flute and his Somaria in a port, he'll know he's just gloves from Go mode, potentially. I don't know if he'll finish a pendant dungeon at that point.
True, but the gloves also lock a lot of stuff, and I don't know. It's a question. You know, do you want to make this play dip into Eastern Palace since you know that bow is fairly easily accessible as a gold sword in 3. Since the bow is fairly easily accessible once you have Dark World access. You know, maybe that Eastern is required after all.
Well, speaking of bow being accessible, Kermit did not pick it up.
Yeah, Kermit did not go to the back of Thief's Town. I think did only the front 4, right?
Yeah, I think so.
So that puts Kermit at a very big disadvantage unless the second bow is like easily available.
Yeah, all the gloves are bow locked, then he won't have too many checks to do before he has to go back there, but still.
100 rupees. Kermit opts to skip out on it. Yeah, so I at this juncture, I'm gonna say we probably missed that first glove, and it probably was on Agino or Zora.
Yeah, but looking at the pendant dungeons, Thief's Town, Swamp, and Eastern, they all don't require a glove to finish. So
No,
I'm
no,
thinking,
no, you're not
what
thinking.
I would really like to see that at some point in my life to have the first glove on pad and the second locked by that. That is something I would really like to see.
That it's just mean. Why do you want to torment these poor guys?
Well, most likely because at once I like I like seats like that because I don't race myself, so I can be kind of cruel in that manner.
Well, I for one hope it's not the legendary Aga pet seat, but who knows?
Yeah, it's absolutely unlikely at this point, but one can have a dream.
Well, there's our third shield in Hype Cave, so Hitsuyan is going to have a mirror shield eventually if Kermit decides to full clear Thief's Town after, you know, potentially being locked out by not getting that bow. Might also be ending up with that.
Yeah, but Kermit deciding to go into swamp. Well, it's okay. You can full clear it. 6 items in there. It's pretty understandable.
Yeah, and with Diver Down, making the trip to left side is also a lot less painful. Oh, whoa, what?
Yeah.
Maybe. Okay, that was the fake out then.
Yeah, he remembered the mountain. Mountain is lots more checks than swamp, and it's a little nicer.
Oh, for sure. Plus, a crystal from Tower of Hera is available to us too. We can access basically everything that is on here on the mountain, on the light mountain that is. So that's a lot of checks. That's Paradox Cave, Spiral Cave, and Tower of Hera, as well as the Spectacle Rock ones.
Yeah, and the probability of at least one glove being up here is pretty high.
I would say it's very decent, yeah. Old Man doesn't have it though, so that's one off the board.
So it will be interesting to see where Hitsuyan goes now. He has the option of Port Eastern or of the mountain as well, but that looks like Port Eastern.
Yeah, for sure. Hitsuyan dashing up means Pot Eastern is probably the... Yeah, it holds up the hammer here. For sure. It's going to clear Pot. We'll find that Flute and King of Samaria and whatever Helmastar it has. And then might opt to mirror over to finish off Eastern. For those 2 items. Since, my thought here is... excuse me. My thought here is, since, otherwise you orphan those 2 checks, and that's kind of gross. You have to come all the way back here, and you have to, walk up there to Eastern Palace, and then go through Eastern Palace again, when you're right here.
Yeah.
And I just saw the book was in Spectacle Rock.
Yeah, that opens up Desert, although we can't finish it because it also needs a glove.
Yeah, we can access the front part of Desert, and so we might see vanilla French vanilla gloves, and that also opens up the Ether tablet right here. You can just that's another light Death Mountain check that is off the board here for Kermit. Just a piece of heart, but good to have that out of the way.
Yeah. Also opens up Bomber's tablet.
Mm-hmm.
So next time someone considers Swamp, we might see that.
For sure. A lot of runners will opt to do Bomber's tablet before going into Swamp, because, there might be something there that, means Swamp is not required to do.
Especially if you're close to go more, then yeah.
Mm-hmm. Sure. See if Hitsuyan, I mean Kermit, sorry, is going to set up the Hera pot. Looks like it, yeah. Has a bit low health, so has to be a bit careful here. Meanwhile, Hitsuyan is giving us bow-locked checks here in pod. We'll probably just find keys. Ah, there we go. Got it. And used the fairies to fill back up. Just some keys.
Yeah, that's pretty likely for the bow-locked side, because we need 6 small keys. No, we need... Oh, let me think.
I can.
We need at least 4 small keys in the front or bow-locked side of pot, and a maximum of 6.
Yeah,
so
that is...
in the first 6 chests, there's a maximum 2 items, and we've already seen, I think, on Kermit's side, we've seen 3 small keys being in the front, and we hadn't seen the compass Hitsuyan just got from the vanilla Biki chest, so it was very likely that there were 2 small keys on the bow-locked side.
But, You're absolutely correct. 6 locations here in the front of the pod. 4 of them at least have to have small keys. So if you find 2 items, if you ever play a rando yourself and do pod, that is how you know. Okay, I found 2 items. Any other dungeon items that aren't small keys or regular item pickups. And then okay, the rest of these are small keys. And meanwhile, Kermit has taken down Molderum with Gold Sword. It's just 2 swipes.
Yeah, it's with Gold Sword, Muldom has practically no chance to troll.
Yeah, the only way Molderum could be a pain if even with the Gold Sword is when Molderum camps the drop down, but otherwise it's no biggie. And character piece here on the floating island. We're gonna see Spiral Cave, Paradox Cave, and then we'll see where Kermit goes next.
This is very interesting. 45 minutes in and still no glove.
Oh yes.
And we to remember, we still haven't seen Zora or Agina to Sphere Zero's checks. Well, wow, and Kermit gets bailed out. Oh my god. Kermit gets a real bailout.
Oh, that is so lucky for Kermit, because that means that gamble to not loot a bag of Feast on, despite there being 3 items in there, paid out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is very good for Kermit. Unless, of course, we come down to a medallion hunt, and then Feast on eventually is going to be a high item density check. In that case, we might still see that bow picked up by Kermit eventually. But, and we find a mushroom here, a Paradox Cave. And yes, the other bow was in Thieves' was in the attic chest in Thieves' And there's a question about 2 bows. With version 31, instead of the silvers being a unique item, the rando devs made it so that the bow, like the gloves or the mails, speaking of which, are progressive. So if you pick either of the bow locations, you pick up the bow first, and if you pick up the second bow, you get the silvers. So
yeah, that makes it pretty likely that Hitsuyan will have his silvers and Kermit will not.
Considering the glove is in Paradox Cave, it's I would say 99% likely that Hitsuyan is going to pick up the silvers.
Yeah.
Unless the only way I could see Hitsuyan not picking up the silvers is if Bombos is the medallion we'll need, and we find everything else, or maybe Hitsuyan finds the other glove and both of the medallions, and then the Spiral Cave first. That's the only constellation where it's possible that Hitsuyan won't find them. But I would say it's extremely unlikely that's happening.
That bow practically has to be that glove Hitsuyan finds in Paradox practically has to be his go mode.
Mm-hmm.
Then he might not find the bow, but otherwise. And considering we need both gloves to check the Maya medallion, well, if he doesn't find Ether and Quake before going up the mountain, no, he won't be in go mode with this glove.
So Hitsuyan takes on King Helmasaur. Let's see if Hitsuyan opts to mirror over. Meanwhile, we see Kermit here in Desert Palace. So far, only dungeon items. We do know that one of the items is on the boss. So the big chest and Lomolas have the remaining, or have the 2 items that we can't find in Desert Palace. And no dip back into Eastern from Hitsuyan here. I would say either of these plays, whether you dip into Eastern or not, would have been plausible to me.
Yeah. Both make sense.
Our first item is a heart piece. Let's see if Lamolos have something good. But yeah, so that bow doesn't lead to much other than killing Helmasaur, unless there's something on Ermos or the Green Pendant.
Yeah, I think Hitsuyan did not... Maybe he did not do Eastern because he felt a little behind. I think think of his situation. 49 minutes in, he does not have a glow. Those Flute and Zomaria were pretty early in logic. And if Kermit went to port straight after doing Aga 1,
which happened,
Hitsuyan may think he has had the Flute and that Zomaria pretty early.
Alright, so Hitsuyan is going to go up the mountain right now. Will most likely do the same things that Kermit did, so go up to Spectacle Rock, pick up that book, do Top Hera, and then the eastern side, and find the glove and silver arrows.
Yeah, and I think Kermit might go back to do port next. Finish port.
Yeah, and Kermit has not the Eastern Palace, so it will be interesting to see if he opts to check and see, or like check those 3 or 4 items, technically speaking. Just the stash of money on Lamola, so Desert Palace a bust outside of the 5/6 crystal.
Yeah. And still, I think Swamp might be pretty interesting right now, because Ice Palace, Mire, and Turtle Rock are all locked by the mid, so the second glove won't be in there. Kermit already did most of port. He has Eastern left and Swamp. And back of Thief Sound. So Swamp should be pretty attractive.
Yeah, Swamp does have the highest item density out of all of the dungeons we have available to us right now. Yeah. The hunt is on. Just some rupees on the witch today.
Yeah, but that's a Port Eastern play from Kermit. He hasn't set foot in the Eastern, so he'll. I think he'll finish Port and then do Eastern full clear.
Yeah, that seems like a very reasonable play. You have 4 items, 5 if you also count the King Hamilton item in this vicinity. So, and like it's Eastern Palace is faster to clear than Swamp Palace, even with Babagon.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Hitsuyan finishes his mountain with Tower of Hera. Well, he finishes his west side mountain. He hasn't been on the east side.
That is true, yeah. Interesting setup for that, the Hera pot with that bonk there to line up. I think the spin speed Hera pot is my favorite out of like the oldie variations of it. It just looks really spiffy.
Yeah, but I've seen at least 7 or 8 different setups for the Hera pot, so
yeah,
whatever you prefer. I think.
Of course, like whatever you like, find easier to do is of course should be yours of choice. But just like when watching and commentating runs, my favorite to see is the hookshot one because it looks so good. It looks very famous.
Yeah, it can be the fastest as well, because if you can do it, I've seen Hera pot done in less than 2 seconds. So that's pretty effective then.
Yeah, the bomb jump of course requires you to set it up and get into the right position. And some runners, as you've seen with Hitsuyan earlier just now, do use the pause buffering. And there we go. Down goes Moldorm for Hitsuyan, which it's not something that is particularly useful to us outside of the crystal. So that speaking of which, don't think there can be anything other than the Turtle Rock medallion. Yeah, no. Because we do need the mids for Mire. So the only thing that could be on Pyramid Fairy is if Turtle Rock has a different medallion than Mire does, and yeah.
Yeah, that could be on the Pyramid Fairy. Wouldn't it be nice to have the second glove on Pad and?
No, it would not be nice. Shut up about it. I've seen surprisingly many Agapet seeds. So, and there are the silver arrows for Hitsuyan. So Hitsuyan has, at least in regards to the Ganon fight, and also like just generally with boss fights and the other stuff like the Gauntlet and such, a little bit of an advantage because the silver arrows make, for instance, killing Vitreous a lot faster. Same with the Armos.
Yeah, and you still can save, I think, 15 seconds, 20 seconds on Ganon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Even if you do spin strats and like have like the perfect pattern and get 3 swings every time, you're still not going to be as fast at using silver. So Hitsuyan is going to find his gloves just in a second.
55.5 minutes in, and there's the first glove for Hitsuyan.
I can't imagine Hitsuyan feeling good about that at all. Like, I don't think Kermit felt good about it either. Having found it like around the 50-minute mark, so.
I really can imagine both. What am I missing? Where is that glove? And
Hitsuyan is basically on Kermit's trails right now because Hitsuyan is dipping. The first thing that Hitsuyan is doing with that glove is dipping into the Desert Palace. We know that there's nothing there other than Lamulus' crystal, but there's also like no real other feasible options for Hitsuyan because when you run this, you do want to do crystals first and foremost, and then like do the other stuff.
Yeah, and this is his only crystal left that is accessible because Eastern, Mire, and Turtle Rock are all locked by the mids.
That is correct, yeah. And also, like, a lot of overworld checks are locked by the mids now. The entire Smith chain, we can't access, for instance. Or Dark Death Mountain, we can't access.
I imagine he'll go Swamp after this because he's already done Port and parts of Eastern. Mm-hmm. So Swamp is for him a pretty item-dense location after Desert.
Yeah, I would say so too. Swamps 6 items versus Eastern's 2 items. And yes, we are in possibly mid-go mode. We don't know either of the medallions because we do need the mids to even see them. So we might still have a medallion hunt after this whole shebang. But right now we are in basically mid-go mode, yeah.
Yeah, and as soon as you find the mids, next thing you do is go to the Maya area and check that medallion. And because that's a very quick check. And if it's Bombos, you absolutely finish Maya. And after that you go maybe you do Ice Palace then, and then you check Turtle Rock for the medallion before you do anything else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so here's hoping that both dungeons require Bombos. And we are on to the Armos Knights here for Kermit, setting up for the quick strat. 5 arrows to the right, walk over to the left, and then spam shooting down. If you do this correctly, you get a red mail, and can get the Armos Knights without the last one turning red.
Yeah, so one of the 2 items Hitsu has left in that area is just nice to have and not required with the red mail.
Mm-hmm. And we're gonna see Sahasula in just a few moments as well.
And after that, we might see a pretty synchronized swamp. Just a big 20 on the green pennant, so not required at all.
Okay. So Eastern Palace was a complete bust. We did find a red mail, which, you know, whatever. It's not... Like, for rounds of this caliber, you know... Who cares?
Yeah.
And Kermit also is... Yeah, Kermit is going to go into Swamp Palace, as will Hitsuyan, like, just a moment after.
Yeah, there was a pretty nice Lammolas fight with the silver arrows. Yeah, we'll see Bomber's Tablet first.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, since, you know, we did find the things that we need. Actually, we haven't seen Agina or Sora yet, so maybe that glove still might be on them!
Yeah, that's still possible.
Oh, that's so painful.
Yeah, Hitsuyan checking the mushroom first.
And some funny person scratched, yet again, an additional O into the bombs tablet there. Yeah, so Agina and Zora still at large, as is Catfish for that matter.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're gonna see Swamp Palace next. 6 items here. And Hitsuyan hot on Kermit's heels. We'll probably also do Bombs Tablet first and then check Swamp as well.
Yeah, it's the most item dense location at that point, and it's pretty, logically to do that.
And to catch everybody up who has missed the first hour here of this this very interesting seed. So we had to do Aghanim for Dark Relaxes, and the glove, we're about an hour in for both of our runners. So, yeah, that's why this is looking real weird.
Yeah, we had a pretty interesting seed. We had a Aga seed, and that led to a hammer on the Hylia Island.
Oh yeah, that hammer on Hylia Island also was really gross.
Yeah,
the Moon Pearl was in the Pyramid Ledge, which was also really gross, you know?
Yeah, and all that led to a flute in Bolus Port.
Yeah, which gave us access to the mountain where the glove was.
Yeah, also one bow was on the mountain. That's the bow Kermit got. The other bow is in the attic in Thieves Town. Hitsuyan got that, and Kermit only did the front 4 of Thieves Town, so Kermit got pretty much bailed out by that bow on the Death Mountain.
That was in Paradox Cave. No, in Spiral Cave.
Yeah. Paradox Cave was the glove.
That's right, yeah. And we can't forget the best Moran.
Oh, yes. Yeah, and depending on which medallions are needed, which we both can't check because both need mids to be checked, we might be in mid-score mode.
At least we found the Swamp Big Key in a reasonable place, so we can pick that up on the way. Nothing there, but you know.
Yeah, and that's interesting. Kermit going to the back first before doing left side. That means he can't do a diver down on the left side and won't save time that way.
Yeah,
I don't know if I like that.
Kermit also pushed a statue, which means that Kermit is not, I imagine, not comfortable doing diver down yet. So has to do the long way. This might be an opportunity for Hitsuyan to save some time and catch up to Kermit.
Yeah, because you only can do the diver down on the left side of Swamp if you pick up that key in the main room and use it. So only then you can do the diver down on the left side.
Yeah, and of course, if you drain the room or like drain the room in the back there with you can tell if somebody's going to do the diver down if they don't push that statue switch to open the door and just go down the stairs.
Yeah. Nothing in the back so far, just the boss is left for Kermit. And maybe left side swamp is the answer then. We'll see soon, we'll see now if Hitsuyan does left side. No, he also goes to the back. But there is to be at least one item in the back, because we've seen the compass. I don't know if we've seen the map as well.
I don't think we've seen the map, but I'm not super sure. We have a heart piece here on Argus, which means if there is something here in Swamp Palace, it's on the left side. So Kermit will have to go back in, as will Hitsuyan.
Yeah.
We've seen both according to chest.
Oh, and Kermit does not go back in for left side. So there's a map in. So there's two items on the left.
Yeah. There's two items to pick up in the left. Let's see if Hitsuyan goes back in, because those two items might be relevant. For Kermit, there are other options that might be more attractive, like the back of Thief's Town or doing those overall checks. I think Kermit is probably going to do Catfish now.
Yeah, Catfish and Zora.
Oh yeah, Zora.
That's very interesting. For Kermit has left 2 items in Swamp, 3 in Thief's Town. That's very interesting.
I think at this point both runners are going to be feeling really behind. So that might be a gamble, you know.
And it's also very interesting that both runners left behind one of the pendants. Because Hitsuyan did not do Eastern, and Kermit did not do back of Thief's Town.
Yeah.
That's very interesting.
And chat has been asking if somebody checked pedestal. No, we got the book once, like both runners got the book long after they cleared Skull Woods. So they went through like the Jacques and stuff. So nobody really had the opportunity to do it.
Yeah, and there's just a bottle on Catfish, and Kermit does not check Zora.
Maybe
that was
Kermit...
his chance.
Okay, I think Kermit must have forgotten that he didn't check Zora.
Yeah, he
That's
checked
like
Zora.
the only explanation I have for that, because both of them did the ledge, but did not pick up Zora himself.
Yeah, they had just over 400 rupees when they got there. That's very strange from Kermit.
Yeah, I think either it's mistracked or forgotten about it. That said, Hitsuyan is going to make the plunge right back into Swamp Palace. Looks like Kermit might go for the Thief's Town play here, and is going to pick up those silvers after all.
Yeah.
Or maybe check the pad for it? No, okay. No, Kermit, you can't go that way.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright. So we are going to see Thief's Town here.
Well, as I have heard from a very reliable source, one of Kermit's team members, we should not try to understand the routes Kermit takes, because, well, even his team members can't understand his routing.
Yeah, Kermit's one of the more prolific German players, along with Hitsuyan. So those of you following the German community probably familiar with him, and know that Kermit is, especially Kermit in particular, is known for like very weird routing decisions.
Yeah, and sometimes it's a little weird.
And a very, very, very strong dislike for doing the Swift chain.
Oh yes. Well, he's lucky then, because he can't do the Smith chain, because no mids, no?
Well, I mean, the Smith chain might still be, you know, holding the medallion we need, so...
Yeah. Oh, there are the mids and left side swamp, wow!
Wow! Okay, so Kermit got punished real hard. We are in no mode at 1 hour and 8 seconds something. At 1 hour and 8 minutes and something.
No. We don't know the medallions yet.
Well, that's why I said no. Well, okay, yeah, true. Schrodinger's no mode.
Yeah.
There you go. So, okay. We're gonna see the Mire medallion right now. Because then we know if we still need to search
Bombos.
items. Okay, it's Bombos. So Hitsuyan is gonna go straight in, try to find that one item and get the other one off of Vitreous. And
yeah, then he'll head straight to Ice Palace and do that. Maybe even go mode it, and then after that he'll climb the mountain and go straight to Turtle Rock to examine that other medallion.
Yeah, with Icebreaker, Ice Palace, like double dipping Ice Palace is nowhere near as bad as it used to be. Like before Icebreaker was found, double dipping Ice Palace was a very, very arduous task because it's such a long, winding dungeon, and the item locations are very out of the way for the most part. But with Icebreaker, all of that falls apart. So if Hitsuyan knows how to do Icebreaker, even if there's something in Ice Palace, i.e. a medallion that we need, then, it's not that bad.
Yeah. And Kermit just gets his third pendant. He might go to Pet now.
Yeah, that's very possible.
It would be a very understandable gamble. And he might even find a medallion there. We don't know yet.
Speaking of cool things like a medallion, Hitsuyan found out that Misery Mire is a God Mire today.
That's very nice. So he won't look for the item, he just goes straight to the boss.
I imagine maybe he'll go... No, actually, he'll not go back in because he's probably working on the assumption that Turtle Rock also is Bombos. And if the medallion hunt is on, so if Turtle Rock requires either or Quake, then you can come back here and just to the front. Getting to Mire is not that long.
Yeah, and there are only 3 bombs on the pad, as we just saw at Kermit. Well, he didn't blind pull it, which is always a little disappointing. He just read it. Oh, but he had the 3 medallions. Oh, it looked like he wanted to go left side swamp, but no. Where is he going now?
Meanwhile, Hitsuyan is on Vitreous, slays the eyeballs, and finds me.
Oh, that Spike Cave from Kermit. Spike Cave.
Oh, yeah. It's technically not illogic because we do not have an invulnerability item.
Yeah, but it's doable.
Yeah, Hitsuyan has potions, a lot of hearts, and the hook shot as well, and boots.
And a glove.
Oh yeah, and a glove, of course.
I think he even has a potion.
Yeah, I saw a blue potion in his inventory just now.
So yeah, and Hitsuyan is going straight to ice.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
Now
Hitsuyan is operating now under the assumption that he's in go mode.
Yeah.
And only will start doing item checks that are not aware. So he might pick up like this chest that's like the first chest here. It's like basically on the way into the Pangina room, stuff like that. But yeah.
Yeah, and Kermit, he does not go. He goes Agina now, and I think he'll probably last location left side swamp now, because he's saying, well, if it's left side swamp, I've already lost.
Probably, yeah. We'll probably check Zora as well before doing it.
Yeah, if he remembers.
Of course, yeah. That's true. Man, if Zora does have the Turtle Rock medallion, ouch.
That could be his bailout, if he remembers to check it and does check it.
Yeah, in that case, yeah. But if Kermit truly has forgotten or mistracked, then yeah, double ouch.
Yeah, to explain for our viewers, Kermit was at Catfish and mirrored, but did not check Zora afterwards. He fluted away. So we think he might have either forgotten Zora or mistracked it or something else.
And it looks like Kermit is going to go back into Small Palace, and we'll find his mid soon. Meanwhile, Hitsuyan attempting to do the icebreaker here. One of the more recently found and approved by the Randomizer Council, which here, using some Mario blocks, allows you to push yourself through this wall, making not only the Ice Plus Bomb Jump obsolete if you do have the King of Samaria, but it also, you know, is a lot faster than going through this dumb dungeon.
Makes Ice Palace almost a pleasure. So he
Only almost though.
Yeah, almost. He checks those chests that are over here, which are basically on his way. I don't think he will check everything, but might even do the big chest now. You have just found the big key.
Yeah, the big chest is not that much of a time investment. Also gets the nice stair clip. I always like when the runner manages to do that one. We'll pick up the crazy chest.
I don't think he'll go to Ice Tea because that is quite a trek, but a big chest, and then he'll go to Cold Stair, I think.
Yeah.
Nice, a cape.
It's not required by any means, since, you know, Bumper Ledge had nothing, but it's always nice to have an invulnerability at him for nasty rooms like that Hellway before Aghanim 2, and just cape and then dash through the entirety.
Yeah. Yeah, and he does not have a full magic meter, so he opts to use bombos.
Yeah, we haven't seen half magic yet either, so conserving some magic is pretty much a good idea. Yeah.
Yeah, and with Gold Sword, those puffs are, well, trivial.
Of course, just trap them in a corner like Hitsuyan did there. That's actually a bit tricky to get the timing right, to get them all bunched up in that little corner, but manages to do it quite easily. And I definitely saw all 3 dungeon items in Hitsuyan's inventory earlier, so yeah. I do think Ice Tea might have an item still.
Yeah, we have just seen the cape and the item on Cold Stair, so Ice Tea does have an ice item.
And off to Death Mountain. The likelihood of, you know, that remaining item in Ice Palace or Misery Mire being the medallion that we need is not very high. There's still a lot of Dark World Death Mountain checks as well. We have Hookshot Cave and Super Bunny, you know. So might if Baubles is not the medallion for TR, we might find a key under the dormant, so to speak.
Oh, and Kermit? Where's Kermit going?
Ice Palace.
Oh yeah, he found his glove. Yeah, he just found his glove.
So the moment of truth is coming in here in just a moment on Hitsuyan's side.
Yeah, but it will... For Kermit, it will mean that he'll do a full clear of Ice Palace, including Ice Tea Room, because he didn't check Mire first.
Oh my god, these dead rocks.
Yeah.
Okay.
And?
There we go. 3,
oh,
2,
it's Quake.
1. Oh no! The medallion hunt is on!
Well, he has 6 more checks up here. Plus, I think he might also do Spike Cave.
Yeah, probably.
Well, so where can it be? We still haven't seen Zora.
Yeah, we haven't seen Zora. We haven't seen the Smith chain, which we now have access to as well. And of course, those... Oh, there it is. Well, it was right under the doormat. So, okay. At 1 hour 18 and 44 seconds, Hitsuyan officially 100% is in go mode.
Yeah.
This sucks though for Kermit, because Kermit is going to full clear Ice Palace, or at least mostly full clear. I'm not sure if Kermit is going to skip Ice Tea or not, and might also full clear Mire maybe. If Kermit works under the assumption that he's in go mode like Hitsuyan did earlier, he might skip those, but. Yeah, that left side swamp, man.
Yeah, left side swamp is always a troll. It's if you skip it, it has something. If you do it, it has nothing. Left side swamp is always. I can't say that here. What left side swamp is.
But yeah, with this Hitsuyan, we'll just have to clear Jump Rock. Can go mode it. Depending on the key layout, go mode Jump Rock can be decently sped up or not at all, or mostly barely at all.
Yeah, it's mostly if you get to skip the laser bridge or not. But
yeah, the laser bridge and the lava chest. Yeah,
we have the riot shield, so laser bridge wouldn't be too bad.
Yeah. And after that, it's on to Ganon's Tower for Hitsuyan. There's the big key. So we won't have a vanilla big key situation. And it really depends on how the small keys are laid out now. Whether Hitsuyan is going to have to, do additional checks for those or not. Ideally, you'll find all the small keys you need before going to Laser Bridge.
Yeah, still he might gamble on not checking lava chest.
Mm-hmm. Man, even with Blue Mail, those chain jobs hit like a truck.
Yeah, I never liked those in Super Mario, and I don't really like them in this game as well.
But they're so cute. I really like you.
Yeah.
I mean, I do have a bit of a soft spot for them because of Link's Awakening, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, I would like them if they were somewhere in a corner where they wouldn't disturb me at all, but...
Alright. Oh, and interesting, I did notice that Dark Link's funny sprite is normal Link. There we go. Hold stare down for Kermit. So now we'll probably opt to do Mire first.
Yeah.
So, Hitsuyan skipped the big chest. There is a very small chance that there is no small key in the laser. It's very minuscule, but it can happen.
I think it's 1 in 5 at this point.
I don't know the statistics exactly. I just know that it's like a very small chance of happening. That like that last small key is in the big chest, and the laser bridge doesn't have it. In which case, that would be a pain. But it's overall, it doesn't happen very often. Well, there it is.
Yeah,
so
there it is. Yeah, and with that, and Hitsuyan being just about to pick up his 7th crystal, I think we have a little game to play very soon. tell our chat what we'll have to do?
Well, we already have some people guessing here, but not yet. We'll wait until Trinix is down. So to explain what's going on, here in the random community, we do like to play a guessing game. There are 22 locations in Ganon's Tower, and one of these 22 locations contains the big key that we need in order to climb and defeat Ganon. And so once Trinix is down and Hitsuyan picks up his 7th pistol, which is like basically right now, we're gonna start a little game with the bot, and you can put in your numbers. If you are the first person to guess right, depending on how many people entered, you will gain internet points. Let's see. Oops, wrong thing.
That's a little early because start signal is just coming.
Yeah, I wanted to do the start signal, but I instead put in a 3. That was not my intention because 3 and $sign are the same on a German keyboard. That said, we're off. Get your numbers in. I said if you're the first to guess correctly, regardless of we used to have it just for subs only, and no longer. If you're the first to guess correctly, depending on how many people entered, you gain internet points and an entry on the leaderboard. If you are a person who guessed it and did not go first, then you still get some consolation points, so you still get an entry on the leaderboard. And if nobody gets the number, then the closest will be picked.
Yeah, and the game should be closed by now because Hitsuyan already is in the mount in GT. First chest is just bombs. Second chest, just rupees. No small keys, so we have to go left.
Indeed. There is a key. There is a key in the torch, but not the right one.
So we won't see Bob today.
Yeah, rip Bob.
Yeah, Bob being the anti-fairy with the glitched out anti-fairy in the room above the ice armors.
I think that one is even random specific, and the devs never figured out why. Either that, or maybe they figured it out by now, but Bob has become such a beloved thing that they opt to leave him in. That said, Hitsuyan is going to do the Stalfos room and mirror on over back out. That means it's one of the magician strats. Okay, so we have Drossi in chat saying that devs did figure it out, but as I suspect that Bob's become too much beloved that they're not gonna get rid of him.
Yeah, we like Bob. Bob is cool. So first 7 checks in GT were nothing.
Mm-hmm. So you're gonna get 8 through 11. Meanwhile, Kermit is going to open up the portal here up top Turtle Rock and is going to seek Quake. It's going to be required. Let's hope Hookshot Cave is the first destination. Oh, there it is.
There it is. 11.
That was 11.
Strictly speaking, we don't know if this was Dark Magician or Pink Magician. Because, Pink Magician would have been to mirror out of this room. And Dark Magician would have been to continue to ice armors on the right side.
Mm-hmm. And we have TFL1991 has won and a whole 31 points. Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Congrats. And the players, how to pronounce that? Talizana and Meflin88 also guessed correct, each get 5 points.
There we go.
And even if it looks like Team Hime will leave the tournament today because Kermit is a little behind, at least at one at one competition, they are pretty good in the race because Ravis, who is a comrade, a team member of Team Hime, still is in the lead in the GT Biki guessing game.
And that's all that counts, isn't it?
Yeah.
In regards to Hitsuyan's lead here, I would say it's very much Hitsuyan's game to lose. Of course, things can happen, and I have seen some tournament matches where something happened that like say forgetting a small key at the top of the tower and having to go back down, or running out of magic or arrows or something like that. Can happen. Probably won't hit Hitsuyan here, but you know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, GT can despawn, as chat brings up. That is also possible. I think Hitsuyan is smart enough to avoid that, but it can happen.
Yeah, but at this point, Hitsuyan is so far in front that even a GT despawn would not allow a GT despawn alone would not be enough for Kermit right now, because Kermit has almost all of Turtle Rock and the Big Key Search in front of him. So and Hitsuyan is almost is at the point where the GT T-spawn mostly happens, if it happens.
Yeah, also to notice that Kermit might opt to continue on with the left side after, you know, being locked out by Hope Room. So since that one didn't have a small key, and we know that the big key is on the right side, so you know, Kermit might opt to do the full left route.
Yeah, Hitsuyan took one of the fastest routes through GT, which are possible in this seed.
Indeed.
And he is almost up at Muldam 2.
Hitsuyan does take a fall to Moldrum 2. As we mentioned earlier, very rarely will Moldrum 2 or Moldrum pose a threat if you have the Gold Sword, but sometimes he can just bunch himself into a corner that's annoying to hit. And then, especially in this arena, which aptly is bad shaped, he can just be a pain, and happens to the best of us.
Yeah, who hasn't fallen to Moldom?
Yeah. And off to Aghanim 2 here for Hitsuyan. Let's see if the patterns are generous today. This one's not too bad.
Yeah, but just a single. Could have been more.
Oh, that one's actually really good here. And it's three orange balls as well. So with Aghanim 2, there is the possibility that the real one spawns a blue ball, like here. The fakes always spawn reflectable ones. There was a triple in that one cycle, and then nothing in the third, and then the last 2 hits required. That overall was a pretty good Aghanim 2 set of patterns. That one where Hitsuyan didn't hit a shot, that was really nasty because it was like, you know, set up in like the square.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of these angles are really difficult to prepare. And down goes Aghanim 2, and down falls Hitsuyan into the hole, onto Ganon. And Ganon is going all philosophical on us today.
Yeah, I'm not fast enough to read those messages. I always remember too late to read, and then.
I mean, they're not really anything anyway. It's like one of those things that the random devs did that's like just a little joke, like the pun blind does before you fight them.
Well, I sometimes I get that one with the light in the fridge, but the other is usually the runners click them away too fast for me to read them.
Yeah. And we're into phase 3 here on Ganon. And yeah, that warp pattern was kind of gross there.
Almost no warps. That was very nice. There's a single, one silver arrow, and that should be a double, I think. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, and one more hit, and Ganon goes down. Boom! Get your GGs in chat, everybody. Just as Kermit defeats Trinix, Hitsuyan defeats Ganon.
Just a little bridge left for Hitsuyan. And there he did it. And
Hitsuyan finishes first in this race, taking the win for Team Awesome with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 34 minutes, and 18 seconds. GG's to Hitsu. Probably will jump on in for a little chat in a bit. Meanwhile, Kermit opens up GT. Let's see what route Kermit is going to take.
Yeah, and with this win, Team Awesome is the sole survivor of the Skullwoods division, or sometimes called the German division, because of all the teams with German players. I think there were more than half of the players in Skullwoods division were Germans. And Team Awesome prevails.
Team Awesome stays awesome. Unfortunately, this means for Team Hime that they are going to be departing out of the tournament, but still coming this far into the playoffs is nothing to be ashamed about either. So.
Yeah, and you have to say, Team Awesome is defending champion.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
They are only one of two teams didn't get defeat in the group phase of the tournament. All three of the runners have been in the semi-finals or finals of the German ALTTPR tournament, so they are pretty good, and it's no shame to lose to them.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and that would mean that Team Awesome will meet either the last locationers or Era 216 in the conference semi-finals. I think the last locationers lead that series 2-1. And let me look when the next match is.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure about how the standings are right now, but yeah.
Yeah, last locationers lead 2-1, and Saturday at 4:10 p.m. match is between Goomba and Buane. Should be a very interesting race.
Yeah, that's two really good runners. Of course, Buane being the person who coined the term ambrosia in the first point. So
yeah.
And we have Hitsuyan joining us now for a little post-match chat. Hitsuyan, congratulations on taking the win for Team Awesome and moving on to the division, being the winner of the Skullwoods division. And yeah, GG's.
Yeah, GG's. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, Hitsu, what did you think of this seed?
Yeah, I tried to avoid Swamp for very long. So I started with, after getting the hammer, still with the upper route. Feel very good about this Ice Rod, because maybe you can skip it, you know. And then, yeah, at the end I had, I think, Eastern left, Agina, Zoa and Catfish, and then I decided to go Swamp Find for the mids, and then I gambled a bit that Turtle Rock is Bombers too. So I skipped an Ice Palace like one check, Maya Shed, and stuff like that.
Yeah, as we pointed out while you were doing this, that you assumed you were in go mode up until you saw that wave sign on the Turtle Rock entrance, and luckily the Quake Medallion was basically right on the doormat, so you know.
I still felt not so good about doing Thieves Town because I could get the gloves in Swamp first and go up the mountain with the gloves and get a bow normally without dipping the pen. Maybe Kermit did play, but I think he also last located mids.
Yeah, Kermit basically absolutely did last location mids, more or less.
Yeah, he last located it even more than you, because you were in Swamp at the same time. Kermit was in there about 20 seconds before you, but he skipped left side and didn't go back.
Oh no.
And basically did everything else after that and last located them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that was the stroke that broke the proverbial camel's neck for Hitsuyan. For Kermit.
Yeah.
So
you would have been literally at the same pace if it wasn't for that.
I was also thinking about skipping it, but I had like pedestal, green pendant, armors, like 6 or 7 checks left, so I decided to stay in Swamp and check the left side.
Yeah, for you it was like that was basically the highest item density that you had left. So because it was either the 2 in left side Swamp or the 2 tied to Armos, so you know, it made a lot of sense to dip back into Swamp Palace. Unfortunately, Kermit had completely skipped Eastern Palace at the start, so you know, once Kermit was in Swamp Palace, he had still Eastern left, I think.
Yeah,
okay.
And he even skipped the back of Thieves Town, so after Eastern he had the back of Thieves Town where he found a second bow. And even did Agina and checked Pet and so on before going back to Swamp.
Yeah.
So he got his flute without having a bow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
When both of you were like a couple minutes apart, like maybe 1 or 2 minutes apart, in regards to beating Aghanim, and Kermit's first destination was to dip into Pod, while you know, went the upper route. And Kermit is going to jump into the pyramid to fight Ganon. So he's going to soldier on and finish momentarily here.
Yeah, since he also picked up his silvers, shouldn't be too slow. Should be pretty fast fight.
Indeed.
Yeah, Hitsu, how was it during the race? Did you feel behind, or did you think you were pretty okay?
I feel that we are even maybe, and tie again, or something like this. I don't feel safe this race, because you could avoid the Thieves Town thing, and yeah, maybe Kermit picked up the hammer and went Swamp instantly, also left side, got the gloves. Then is going to, I don't know, Skullwards, get his Ice Sword, mirror to the mountain.
Well, Kermit would have had to God route, and while Kermit is, like, you know, known for his unconventional routing, I think having, like, this item chain particularly would have been very difficult to, like, God route it. That said, Kermit does take down Ganon. Get your GGs in chat, everybody. Kermit finishing up with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 43 minutes, and 40 seconds. And he's not going to join us for an interview. He's too tired. So GG to Kermit and Team Hime, slugging it out. As we mentioned earlier, absolutely nothing to be ashamed of to lose to Team Awesome. Undefeated yet. And so was there anything going in through your mind that was worrying you, that like maybe like the medallion for Cello Rock would be somewhere really nasty?
Yeah, after sawing it was Quake, I was a bit worried that it's an Ice Palace or something I left behind, or maybe Smith Chain or something.
Yeah, though by that point
it was really good. That's
by that point you didn't really have much left anyway, so not that big of a deal, but
pretty many one-off checks which were all pretty awful.
Could also be pedestal all the time, right?
Yeah, I pretty early tried to jinx the first glove on Pet, but it didn't work out.
I was also thinking about it, because our pendants was clearable, and you got the book too. Maybe check the Pet, but
I was very upset with Bigfoot for suggesting that. Chat, of course, was loving it, so. All right, so unless Hitsuyan has any more thoughts to share?
Yeah, I have some more, a little more. It seems you're going up against Last Occasioners or Era 216 next. What are your thoughts about that, Hitsu?
I hope, of course, we get Era 216, that I can have a game 4 against Verlaine.
For those of you, of course, who don't know, Verlaine is also one of the German runners, and who also I think the winner of the first German tourney. He
was in our team in the first season. So.
Oh yeah, that's right. He did. He was in your team. Yeah, I remember that. You want to get back to him, huh? All right. So, thank you very much, Hitsuyan, for running. Also to Kermit for running for us today. This was an awesome race. Let's see here. So, for those of you who want to see more Rando, there are a few more league matches coming up today at 8:10 p.m. We at Eastern Daylight Time, of course. We have the Titansmiths versus the Fendrana Drifters on SpeedGaming main, so just SpeedGaming, of Dante versus Megawatts. So this is going to be an open all dungeons, vanilla swords, and standard dungeon items seed. And we don't know yet if that is going to be restreamed. We have another one. I like Big Boots versus Kinda Random Retired of Red Team versus Farame. Still open whether or not that's going to be restreamed. If it is, make sure to check that out. And if you don't want to wait, and just do anything, we do have on the SpeedGaming network a lot of stuff still coming up. So right now we have the Super Metroid Zelda 3 Rando 1v1 tournament going on. We have 2 races currently in progress over on SpeedGaming 4. That's been going on for like 2 hours at this point. F. Coughlin versus Total. And one that just started an hour ago on SpeedGaming 2, we have Hydropower versus Ace Zero. So if you want to check that out, the combo random is really cool. Then starting at 5 p.m. over on SpeedGaming Main, we have the Pac-Man World 2 2020 80% tournament. And starting at 7:10 p.m. Eastern, we have 3 matches of the SM3 combo random. Type in ! schedule to check it out yourself if you're interested. I think that's going to be it from us for now. So I want to thank, again, our runners. Make sure to give them a follow, Hitsuyan and Kermit, both excellent runners. And thank you also to our tracker, Velity. I hope I pronounced it right. Keeping us honest. And of course, thank you to my co-commentator, Bigfoot08.
Yeah, from me also thanks to our tracker, keeps us in the game and is a great support as always, all our trackers are. And to my co-com Red Arena, to the runners and also to our viewers. Because without you, we won't be doing this.
Indeed.
So, everybody enjoy the rest of the day.
Yeah, thank you everybody for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye!